Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jasmine. So today we are back in Planet Zoo for another franchise zoo episode, and this one is our UK zoo called Lakefield Zoo. And last episode, in case you missed it, we added some meerkats, or we built this new meerkat enclosure for our meerkats that we have, and we also built this little exhibit area and added terrapin turtles as well as the fire salamanders. So to start off, I've got a few zoo management things that I wanted to get sorted. So first of all, we forgot to add the education talk point to the meerkat enclosure last time, which I said I wanted to do, so let's have a go at doing that. Okay, so here's the talk point, and I wanted to add this to the meerkat enclosure because the meerkats tend to be one of the most popular animals in zoos, and they tend to be ones that you see keepers give animal talks and have like feeding time talks for in real zoos. So that's my thoughts behind that. But I don't want to add these areas to all of the animals because I feel like that might be realistic. Just save them for the most popular ones maybe. Okay, so I just added this shape to cover the ugly decoration of this talk point and change the colour, and I think it works quite nicely. So when I get around to it, I'll make some custom education boards for the meerkats, but not right now. I think we might need to do some more mechanical research, so I'll worry about that later. It also looks like we've got some vet research complete for the fire salamander. I'll keep it going just because we're nearly complete with them, and then we can switch over to the terrapins. But this episode I did want to organise the staff a little bit better. This is without power, but we will sort that out in a minute. So it looks like our vets are working pretty hard, and I have started to train some of our employees, but now that we're making tons of profit, I was thinking that we can be a little bit less stingy with our staff. So how many animals have we got now? We've got cassowaries, meerkats, monkeys, and then 2 exhibit animals. So maybe we should have 4 keepers, I'm thinking. Yeah, because they're all really high workload. So let's add 1 more keeper, and then maybe even 4 vets, because I would like ideally 1 vet to be on research all the time, possibly even 2 at the same time. So I might hire them. We can always fire some of the staff. Let's also get 1 more mechanic because we're doing a lot of mechanic research. Or we need to hire an educator for the education talks. Perhaps 1 more caretaker. We hired some more vendors last time and we were training them up, so I'll train that person up. But it still looks like they've all got high workload, so I might train them up even more. So I don't think I've actually used these keeper talks before. Oh, we can link seating to these talks as well, so maybe we could deal some of the benches here. Oh, so off camera, I can't remember if I mentioned it last episode or not, but off camera we unlocked the classic mechanical research, the first level of that. So this is where the benches came from. I just added a few around the zoo. No, this pathing is going to be awkward and it doesn't look right, so let's not do that. Okay, they can't have staff rooms, so we're going to need to fix that. And we don't have a security guard, so we need to hire one of those as well. Oh, and we've got a good conservation rating, so we've got some money there because of that. That's good. Okay, so let's fix this. Just put it here for now, I suppose. Right, let's get a security guard as well so that it stops giving me that notification because it's super annoying. Cool, so I might then think about work zones. Oh, our monkeys are about to have offspring. That's exciting. I mean, we've already got loads of monkey babies already, but it's always nice. Oh, that shake was really cute. It's always nice to have more babies in our zoo. And we did get some name suggestions in the comment section of last episode, so I was thinking of doing that shortly, adding some of those to our animals. It doesn't look like this monkey is giving birth anytime soon. But yeah, if you have any more suggestions for this episode or any of the animals that we add, then add them to the comments down below and I will pick them up, I promise. Oh, and we've got some more vet research, so we can probably switch this over now. Oh no, an animal has escaped. How has that happened then? Well, that's not escaped, frankly. Oh, there it is. There it goes. That must be a bug because it's fine. Well, it's not escaped. It's quite clearly in the enclosure. Yes, it looks okay. That was just a glitch, clearly. Oh, these guys have low welfare. Their nutrition is low. So let's call a keeper. So hopefully they will feed them imminently. Will you just hurry up and feed these animals? They don't care if they need cleaning or not. It's more important that they get fed because their nutrition is very, very low. What is that keeper doing? This is ridiculous now. Why are they not getting fed? Okay, this keeper is coming. Please actually do something about their welfare. Hurry up. I don't want my animals to die because my keepers are just being useless. Maybe this is a glitch or something. Where is it going? Okay, well, look, we're going to have to hire someone specifically to take care of the meerkats because for some reason our staff are absolutely useless. What is going on? I don't understand. Where are they going? Why can't they use this? Right. These ones that are basically about to die, I think if you send to trade centre, then they sort of lose all of their stats. So they're like no longer in danger now. I have no idea where these keepers are and why they're not doing their jobs. I think it might be time to set up some work zones for them. So how many keepers do we have? We've got 5, 1 each per animal. So let's just create 5 work zones, 1 per keeper. Keep them each on an animal with the nearest facilities for them. 1 for meerkats. Let's add 1 for these, and then this staff room as well. 1 for the monkeys. They can have this staff room and then this keeper hut. And I've just clearly labelled them as keeper ones. So then let's go to the staff and let's assign them. They're currently working on the monkeys, so they can have the capuchins. This one can be meerkats, cassowaries, and then you can both be exhibits. Okay, that hopefully will work. And then everyone else isn't limited by a work zone at the minute for now. I want to check that these guys are actually going to get fed before I then bring back the rest of the meerkats. So let's just call a keeper to them to make sure someone actually arrives. I'll top up the habitat with drinking water. The animals look thirsty. Good, finally! That has taken so long. Okay, hopefully that work zone thing has helped because, yeah, that was getting stressful. Okay, they are getting fed. So now I'm going to go back to the animals that we've got in our trade centre. I will put them all back. How come I've got so many in my trade centre? I thought I only had 4. All right, well, let's send them all here anyway. Oh, good. They're going up. Why have you still got low welfare? Well, maybe drink something then, because I'm pretty sure maybe they've run out of water again. Oh no, our finances are going down. Unsurprisingly, we need to get new animals soon. This episode has been a bit stressful so far, hasn't it? No matter. I think they are missing water, which is annoying. This animal isn't doing too well. Maybe temporarily I will just buy them one of these just until our keeper gets his act together. Let's just move it over here and encourage it to just have a drink, and then we can sort out this again afterwards. Please drink. There we go. Okay, so now we can delete this and I will just smooth out that terrain. Okay, so I've had enough of dealing with these meerkats. They should be fine now. Name suggestions, that's what we were going to do. Okay, so we had a few for the terrapins. So the first one was from Catherine in the comments, and she asked for one of the female terrapins to be named after her pet turtle, who she sadly had to rehome, who was called Missy Hissy apparently, which I think is hilarious. That's such a great name. So let's name this terrapin after her. And then Max the Last gave 2 name suggestions for the turtles. He suggested Itchy for a male and Indiana for a female. And lastly, we had the suggestion Beta from Babirusa in the comments. And apparently that means full moon, maybe, I think. I might be wrong, but that's what I remember off the top of my head. So I thought we could name our new baby cassowary Beta, because I thought it'd be nice to name the cassowary baby because it is quite a special one. So there we are. And we also got some name suggestions for some specific animals that we don't currently have in our zoo. So I have made a note, and when we do come around to adding those animals in the zoo, I will make sure that your name suggestions get included. And it looks like we've got some more vet and mechanic research. research. Oh great, we've completed the capuchins, that's awesome, and the terrapins have got a couple more. So let's get this person on the meerkats. And then, oh, it looks like we've got the new world theme completed for our mechanic research. That's great. So we've got some glass pieces here, which are all really handy. Oh, I'm guessing our tickets are underpriced, which is always good. Oh, and we've got these metal roof pieces, which is really handy. Oh, these metal bars are so handy. I'm super happy about that. Less excited about some of these icons. How about we keep the mechanic research going on this particular theme, because I know that they've got some more useful items that we don't currently have yet. So I'll keep that going. And then, oh, we've got some more vet research complete already. Yes, our guests think our tickets are underpriced. I don't know, let's make it, what, 12 and 8? And we'll see how they feel about that. Oh, this research is going super quick. Then the next animal I decided I wanted to add to the game was Babirusas. Let's go to the animal market. And basically I wanted these guys because they were confident. So we had someone kindly point out in the comments that the meerkats are actually not confident, they're just neutral with humans, which is annoying because we've put them at the start of our zoo and for some reason I thought they were confident. I mean, they've brought us a lot of attention to the zoo, which is great, and we don't seem to be having any problems with crowds at the minute, but that might change. But if we need, we can switch out their glass for one-way glass and then add some be quiet signs around the enclosure, but not proving an issue at the minute. But yeah, I'm kind of just wary that we should only pick confident animals for the start of our zoo because I don't want any of them to be stressed because it will get quite busy. This one looks like the most fertile. We'll get her. And then maybe this one and this one as well. Let's put them all in the quarantine, wherever that is. So I'm not going to bother a speed build for this. I'm just going to sort of put the basics down for them and then cut to when it's complete. So you won't see me add it, but we will be redoing that build anyway for them. So we'll do a bit of a speed build later on, I think. So I'll see you when the Babirusas are in their enclosure. Okay, so here are our little Babirusas. I've just given them sort of the basics that they need to make them reasonably happy in this rough enclosure. They are so cute and wrinkly and odd looking, but also, yeah, I actually really like them. We mentioned a couple of animals last episode. I sort of suggested kangaroos and I got comments for people being interested in kangaroos. I am planning on adding them, I think, but I figured out that I might want to put them in a different area of the zoo, so that might be something for another episode at some point. So keep your eyes open for them and any of the other animals that you mentioned in the comments, because just thought that with these guys being confident and also being small enough to fit in this particular area and the kind of building that I had in mind for this particular area, I thought would suit the location of the enclosure. So if you're disappointed that we didn't get a different animal, then please don't be too upset, but we will add the ones we mentioned at a later date. So hopefully you're enjoying these guys and are excited to have them added to our zoo. If you have any name suggestions, obviously, like always, add them in the comment section down below. This animation is so cute of them wriggling around. That's so funny. Oh, this not got any keepers because we've changed the work zone setup, haven't we? So we're going to have to create a new work zone for them. So let's create a new one with this. We will probably have to add a new keeper hut. There we go. And then to include this keeper hut. So we'll probably have to hire a new keeper and assign them to the Babirusas. I feel like now that we've got so many animals, we are getting into the nitty-gritty of zoo management, and it's definitely feeling a little bit tougher and a little bit more detailed in this episode than it has done before. They're getting some interest from the zoo guests, aren't they? So that's good. Okay, so I think I might start doing a little bit of building now. So I'll head into a speed build and I'll catch up with you in real time once we are done. Okay, so we are back into build mode and I start off by adding a little bit of another section of vegetation here in between the capuchin monkeys and the Babirusas. And the main reason why I've been doing this a lot is because it sort of acts to double up the pathing in between each enclosure. So obviously there's a path either side of this sort of section of vegetation, and that means that the guests can choose to go down one route or the other depending on which animal they actually want to see. and that way they're not getting as congested. And we're not obviously having that issue at the minute because our zoo is reasonably new and we haven't got that many guests wandering around, but it will eventually be an issue, I think, when we have more animals and obviously more guests in our zoo, when we've developed it a little bit more and it gets a little bit busier. So I'm just thinking ahead because all of the pathing is on the maximum size. I think it's like size 10 meters maybe, if that's the option, but I think that sometimes even is not enough, especially at the start of a zoo. So yeah, I'm just giving them 2 different areas to walk everywhere, and that means that yeah, when it's really busy and there's tons of guests, and they won't get loads of build-ups in awkward areas, and then the animals will get less stressed and things like that. So I'm just thinking ahead. I also, in the back of my mind, am planning to eventually change some of the fencing that we've currently got in our zoo to a paler wood. So not the stone fencing, I'm quite happy with how that is because that was the stone pieces that we got from the South America pack I'm talking about, and obviously the stone that I'm now creating for the Babirusas, I'm happy with that, that's from the European pack. But the wooden fences, so for example near the capuchin monkeys and then the cassowaries as well, that was stuff that we didn't have to research because it was from the sort of habitat objects section that just comes with the foundation objects that you get when you start a franchise zoo. So I think now that we've researched a few more objects, and I've got a few more objects in mind that we haven't yet researched as well, like for example from the East Asian theme, there's loads of recolorable sort of wooden planks in there that I'm thinking of making use of for fences in this zoo. But yeah, once we get all of those, I intend to redo all of the darker fences and make them over with a new paler wood fence. So to make sure we get that done next episode, I might end up hiring another mechanic and get some mechanical research done on that theme, like I said. I'm also hoping that next episode we might also be able to create a small fence blueprint for this zoo so that we can be consistent across the zoo with all of the different types of fencing that we use. I will have some variations, but variations that have a similar theme or style going on. So yeah, I'll try and create that next episode for that reason, but also so that you can download the blueprints yourself. So that will be nice if we manage to get that done. And I intend to create a blueprint for at least the Babirusa habitat by the time this video is uploaded, fingers crossed. So if I do manage to do that, then I will link the blueprint in the video description box below of this video, so you can go there and download this enclosure for yourself in case you want to place it in your game, in your zoos. And so far I haven't uploaded any blueprints for any of the other enclosures in this zoo yet, mainly because I intend to go back and make some changes to at least the monkey enclosure and also the cassowary enclosure. I think the meerkat enclosure is pretty much done. I have a few like minor adjustments that I want to make, so I might also have that uploaded and linked below in this video as well in case you're interested, but if not, it won't be far behind, I promise. But yeah, in terms of the cassowary enclosure, I have plans to completely redesign that habitat because I want to make room for an entrance to a gift shop on that side of the pathway. So the enclosure might actually have to be moved back a little bit to accommodate that, but also the enclosure is still really rough, and I'm pretty sure their shelter is just made up of barriers and some random roof pieces, and it doesn't look very good at all. So it can definitely be improved, and we'll definitely do that at some point in a future episode. But I was also thinking that I might add peacocks to that enclosure, sort of switch out the cassowaries, add some peacocks in, and then place the cassowaries in a similar sort of styled enclosure next to the peacocks where they currently are, and then add a mini sort of Australian section to the zoo. So there we might add, for example, kangaroos or koalas, because I've not played with either of those animals in my game yet, and cassowaries are obviously from the Australian pack, so I thought that it might be nice to sort of group those animals together in a little area. So let me know what your thoughts of that are down in the comments below. I also intended to get a lot more done in this episode than I actually managed to do. So I wanted, for example, to check on our food and drink stalls again, but I didn't get the chance, and I also wanted to go back and edit some of our old bills like I mentioned, and add some educational signs for the meerkat meerkats and the Babirusas, and also I really want to add a little sheltered area where our general education boards are, you know, near where the monkeys are. But yeah, I didn't manage to get any of that done, mainly because the meerkats were creating a few issues in this episode, so that took a bit of time. But I'm thinking that maybe next episode, if we get all the research that I want done, then I might just dedicate the entire episode to editing some of our existing buildings in the zoo and make sure that the entrance building looks really nice, and do a bit of zoo management as well where necessary. So yeah, next episode we might not necessarily have any new animals, but it will probably be a lot of building, and hopefully we'll manage to get a nice entrance area sorted. That's if we get all the mechanical research done that we need to. So yeah, I have a lot of plans to add some blueprints into this zoo, especially for those entrance buildings and things like the gift shop and things like that, just to add a few details. But a lot of the blueprints I want to use are locked at the minute because they tend to use quite a lot of packs and different build themes as well, so we haven't got the mechanical research that we need for those. So yeah, that's a factor. But in terms of the Babirusa habitat that we're building at the minute, I decided to make the indoor closure out of plasterwall pieces instead of the stone building pieces that we used in the meerkat enclosure last episode, just for the sake of having some variation. And I think this particular building looks a little bit more contemporary than the meerkat's habitat, for example, mainly because it's got a flat roof, but also the plaster pieces as well. But I thought that that would make it more realistic in the zoo to have a mixture of new and old architecture throughout, because it's quite common in most places, especially that I'm familiar with in the UK, that there'll be like spots where zoos have repurposed old barns and buildings like that, but then also have added over time buildings of various ages that develop and change and are added as a zoo gets bigger. So yeah, I thought that was quite realistic to have a bit of variation in style and age of the building. But we still do use those redstone pieces for the main wall around the Babirusa habitat, so that looks nice and hopefully like that, and it ties it in nicely to the meerkat enclosure. But it won't all be within the same style. Like I say, in this zoo we will use a lot of different types of fencing and vary up a lot so that it doesn't look too samey. And I also really loved using the new metal pieces that we got with the Europe pack in this build. I use those metal bars in particular a lot, and I also found those tiny little metal pieces super handy. You'll see them when I'm making the interior cage area, and I use them for the latch of the locks in that section, so that was quite nice to get in that pack. I also tried quite hard to make the interior look nice in the Babirusa habitat, and I intend to try and do that consistently across the zoo. You can probably tell at the minute that I'm trying my best to fill in all the empty spaces as I go in the zoo, so then I don't have a horrible job of having to go back and fill in all the gaps, but also it sort of just makes it look nicer and more satisfying to get sections done at a time each video, so hopefully you appreciate that. But yeah, I'll add in details where I can, but areas like the staff facilities buildings, maybe I will put slightly less effort into. I don't know, because you never really use them in franchise modes, do you? You never go into the staff facilities buildings, sort of click on them, but you don't end up looking at them, at using them. So I might go back and add some detail, but I will at the very least cover the interiors with like wall pieces and floor pieces, just to make it sort of neat and finished, even if I don't go and add detailed blueprints throughout the interior of the build. But yeah, that was pretty much all I wanted to say in terms of this voiceover, so I'll go back to real time shortly, but I would love to know what your opinion of this Babirusa build is and what your thoughts are of the zoo architecture so far, and if you have any ideas for the entrance, because yeah, I was planning that out off camera and it was a bit of a struggle, I must admit, but I do have something in mind, so don't panic. We'll work it out and make it look nice one way or the other. But do let me know what you think of this build. Like I say, I do plan to add some detailing throughout the zoo, so for example some gutters, and I think like the air vents and stuff like that, that might be a blueprint, and I'm not sure if I've got all of the pieces that I need unlocked for that, so I'll have a look and see what I can do. But in terms of a finished build, I don't think this one is particularly far off, is it? So yeah, I was quite pleased with it, the way that it turned out by the end of this episode, so hopefully you like it too. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments, and we're pretty much done now, so I'll stop talking now and I'll catch up with you back in real time. Okay, so I've just finished building the Babirusa habitat and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I've reused this sandy stone piece that I started using for the meerkats last episode for the wall, and then this barrier is the barrier in game, and then they've got just this raised bit of mud. They like soil, they like a lot of soil and not a lot of vegetation at all, so yeah, I've got just a little bit too much coverage for them. I don't know, I just like the way it looked, so I don't mind sacrificing that. We're just getting protesters for some reason for these meerkats. It's because of their nutrition, but oh, it's their water. Thing is, I really don't like the look of these water pipes, so I really don't like using them, but we might have to, I suppose. So perhaps we could put it here, maybe as if it was coming out of the wall. Okay, and then yeah, change the colour of this tap here. It just annoys me because the water is so blue and I find that a bit unrealistic. But yes, this will have to do for now, I suppose. Oh well, let's have a look at our Babirusas. They're so cute. This is what their interior shelter looks like. We've got some heaters, some toys for them. This is their water trough. Maybe I'll have to sort out some proper water areas for them. But yeah, I put some effort into their interior. We've got some open windows over here and here because I thought the ventilation might help. And I thought this sort of metal roofing structure looks quite realistic for these kinds of interiors that you often see in zoos. And then they can't actually access this, but I thought it would look like some different enclosed areas where the zookeepers could divide up maybe the male and females or the animals when they're breeding and stuff like that for whatever reason, or maybe, you know, to look after them health wise and stuff like that. So that was the idea behind that. And then this is what these guys look like up close. They are so odd and wrinkly and kind of a little bit ugly looking possibly, but I think that they're so cute. I really find them quite charming because they're so odd looking, aren't they? But yeah, as always, if you have any name suggestions for these guys, then let me know down in the comments below. I think that's pretty much it for this episode. I spent a long time building, so I didn't manage to update any of our old enclosures that I wanted to get done today. The cassowaries, me doing some of them, and I also want to redo some of the entrance buildings at some point, but we could do that next episode. Oh, this one's just got pregnant. That's really good. So that's exciting. Maybe we'll have some Babirusa babies at some point. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there for this episode, but we've got plenty to do for next episode. I'll try and sort out all of the issues with the animal welfare, make sure that all of the animals have a really good source of water in future because this is clearly not working. It's not good enough. But yeah, if there's anything else you want to see next episode specifically, then do let me know. We'll probably try and add another animal if we can, possibly rhinos or otters, giant otters. Oh, it looks like our baby cassowary is aged up. That was super quick. What are its genes like? Oh, it's got really good genes. So I am going to put this in a trade centre for now. And then we can use it, once these two die of old age, we can use it to breed more cassowaries. But yes, I will end the episode now. That's basically all I wanted to say. So if you have any advice or ideas, let me know down in the comments below. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. As always, if you did like it, then please leave a like, comment and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye everyone.